Hello, Luke from Korg here, and we're looking at a MicroJam today. So I'm live with Korg USA, and also hopefully some people in the UK are watching as well, and other people around the world. So what we're doing with this MicroJam? Well, we've got two legendary products here in front of me. The Microkorg. This is the Microkorg S actually, the one with the speaker, and also the Microkorg XL Plus. I've also got a micro key which I may use a little bit later, and I've also got an iOS app up here, which is the iElectribe, and that's connected to the audio side of things via the plug key, which is just out of shot, which is a brilliant little device. It's got a MIDI in and two audio outs as well. And I've got all of this synced together as well. So that means that the audio is going to be all in time with each other. The way that I've done that is I've used the Microkorg XL Plus here as the master clock. So I can set my tempo here, and then I've gone MIDI out of there into the Microkorg S, and then MIDI through out of there into the plug key and then into the iPad. So all of the tempos should be the same. So this is the master, and then the other two are chained from that. So what we're going to do on this MicroJam, well, I'm going to use the iElectribe mainly just for drums, really, to give me a bit of a groove, and then using all these different styles that are in the iElectribe, try and find some sounds that are going to work well with those. Don't be scared to have a question. Just fire them at me. I'll try and keep an eye on them. There's also James is also in the chat as well, so he can talk to you as well. So, but don't be scared of asking questions. Okay, so let's start off. So I've got a style up here, a groove called electronic house, and I can mute parts. And bring parts in and out. So if I wanted to do something on my Microkorg XL Plus, I can dial up my sound. Now on here it's really good because you've got sounds and categories of types of sound, but also genres. So you can kind of choose which way you want to go with that. So I found this really nice bass sound actually. Which I can modulate with the mod wheel there. And obviously over here I've got my deeper editing functions, so I can filter it really easily. And I've got an arpeggiator. So if I turn that on, it'll arpeggiate whatever we do. So let's start off the groove, and then this should sync to it. Turn on the arp. So that's nicely locked in. Trying to find something now on the Microkorg to fit that. So I'm going to go. What I've done here is I've selected a few of my favourite sounds in the Microkorg S, and I've put them into my own kind of little banks. Because the great thing about the Microkorg S over the original Microkorg is you've got an extra 2 banks. You've got a new bank, which is bank A, and then you've also got bank D as well, which is blank. And I've actually filled that with some of my favourite sounds, which I've just copied into these locations. So for instance, in my 4th bank there, I've got some all sorts of different sounds, and in the 1st bank I've got this nice pulsing sound. The original Microkorg is great because you've got instant access as well to your sounds at the top. So now let's start it off. Hopefully this should be in sync as well. Let's bring in couple of extra parts as well. So you can hear it, it's working really nicely with everything in sync there. So we've got a MIDI clock from the Microkorg XL Plus going into the Microkorg, MIDI through, into the plug key, and then into iElectribe. And there's some great patterns in here. Let's pick out another one here. So it's going to start playing back. And I just love the way that you can just bring the parts in and out really easily. So let's pick a different sound now. Now you notice that when I change sound on here, the tempo is changing because each of these has its own tempo, which is really nice because it's enabling me to save my favourite tempo ready to go. So let's go for this sound here. Nice synth sound. See what the up's doing. So let's find a bass line to go with that from our Microkorg. So I've put all my basses in the second bank there, so let's just see. So let's up the ante a bit with the rhythm. So we've got a nice kind of groove going there with this nice kind of, it's called polyline, this particular sound. And again, you can really, just by opening up the filter, you can change the tone of it quite well. Same thing with the bass here. So you can close it right down if you want to. You've also got an Arpeggiator, of course, on the Microkorg as well. With all sorts of different patterns, and we'll be using some of those again a bit later. Let's go on and have a look at the next pattern. So this is more of a techno kind of flavour. Let's break it down a little bit. So I'm going to go and find my next sound. There we go. So we've got this nice kind of it's almost like an EP sound. Let's put the arp on. Does something a little bit different. Really nice bass sound from the Microkorg S there. It's got a really nice panning effect on that. That's called Z field. That's a really nice sound, and it's really different when you play it without the arpeggiator. So when you play it with it, it's got a really short gate time. You can, yeah, it's almost like having two sounds in one program now, which is really cool. Okay, so staying with techno. This is a really nice sound I found actually in the Microkorg XL. It's called Filler, so let's go and have a listen to that. There it is. Again, let's strip it back a bit, take the kick out. Hear that's latched as well at the moment. So there you go. So that's using a kind of techno rhythm, a bit more kind of laid back than normal techno, and that nice filler sound from the Microkorg Xl Plus, and that gorgeous bass sound from the Microkorg S. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, yeah, do just chip in, and I'll do my best to answer them. I see that James has answered a couple already, which is really nice. So yeah, let's have a look at the next style I found. Oh, I could find a nice minimal one here. So with the Electribe, you've got some really easy kind of ways to manipulate the sound. You've got a nice tube gain here, because we've got a virtual tube, as you can see, glowing away there at the top. And what we've got here are all your different parts represented. So you can actually just check those out, and then you'll see all of the parameters here are just then switching to whatever I want to edit there, whether that's effects or the pitch of it or the oscillator type or the amp or whatever that is. So it's just so easy. And then here are all your steps. So if we play that back, you can have up to 4 pages, if you like, of this. So that sound there is our kick drum. So if I put 4 quick kicks at the beginning, you'll hear it. There you go. And you've got a nice little swing on there as well. So you should, yeah, that double kick I just put in there. So which sound did I find for this one? B24. We've also got something on the Microkorg going on here. Sound. Let's just have a listen to that first, actually, because it's a really nice sound. So just by playing a single note, I can get a whole chord playing in parallel. So just by playing that note there, I've got that major 7th. By using the Arpeggiator, you get that nice kind of like syncopated rhythm. Play the right notes, it helps. So let's get that in sync now. Some chords over the top. This is actually a really nice sound as well. Just stop the rhythm a minute so you can have a listen. It's a nice motion going on with that, and then with the mod wheel, brings us some really nice higher frequencies there. So that was a minimal style on the iElectro. So such good styles in here, and as you can see, as I scroll through, there's loads in there, all in different genres. I tried to pick out sort of one or two from each type, and then later on you've got loads of templates as well, so which are just basic patterns, usually without any kind of synth sounds in there as well. It's just drum patterns to get you started, which is great as well. So I just copied some of the presets really and just muted some of the parts into this blank bank D here, as you can see. So what we've got here, another minimal. You can also solo parts, of course, as well, just by pressing solo up there. And what's really good as well, when I was saving my sounds here, it allows you to put tags in, and also the author of the pattern as well. But the tags I've actually used just to tell me which patches to put on my Microkorg XL, which is really handy. So you'll hear the tempo changing there as I'm changing sound. So it's A64, mod sweep, and then I've said also D23 on the Microkorg S. And don't forget, these are all presets. I might have just added a little bit of effect here and there, but pretty much these are all presets that I'm using on the Microkorgs and on the Electribe actually. It's a really nice kind of swept pad sound. See what the mod wheel's doing here. Very nice. So that was like a nice minimal kind of pattern from the Electribe. So we've got two Microkorgs here. Let's just quickly talk about the differences between the two. So there are actually three Microkorgs in the range. There's a Microkorg S, which is this one, and then the Microkorg XL Plus. So the Microkorg and the Microkorg S are very much the same, apart from the fact that the Microkorg S obviously is a different color, and it's the S stands for speakers, so it's actually got speakers built in as well. And it's got, as I said earlier, 2 extra banks as well of sounds, 1 extra bank and 1 then blank bank, as well as the original presets, which we all know and love from the Microkorg. And it's a 4-note analog modeling synth. And I haven't got my microphones on here today, but they're both vocoders as well, which is really cool. They come with a little gooseneck mic. So you've got a 4-band, you've got a 4-note polyphony with this one. And obviously lots of real-time controls, very analog modeling. As you can see, again, you choose your sounds via genre of music, and then you've got different banks, and then these are the different sounds within those banks. Pitch bend mod wheel, you can shift the octave, you've got an arpeggiator built in, and you've got this fantastic matrix here to do your editing. You kind of first stop are these ones where you've got your filter, your attack, and then your tempo, but then you can delve into this matrix to really go deeper with your sounds. And then of course you've got the Microkorg XL Plus, which came out a little bit later, and this one is still analog modeling synth, but it has some technology from our radius synth in there, which basically means we can do really interesting synthesis as well. So for a start, we've got samples in here as well, so we can do things like traditional instruments like electric pianos, strings, all those kind of instruments that you wouldn't be able to do that well on the Microkorg. It's all about synths. This is a bit of a broader palette. You've still got a way to edit over here on the right, and then it's just a similar way really. You just use this category select, and then you're just selecting the controls using the 3 parameters there. But the good thing about this one is that it has an LCD screen, so you can actually see characters on there rather than just a number, a bank and a number. You can actually see the name of the program, the tempo, as well as some other stuff when you're editing as well. So that makes it quite cool. Also, this one has USB and MIDI. This one only just has regular MIDI. So that's a slight difference as well. The vocoder on this one is a 16-band vocoder. This one's an 8-band vocoder. And this one, although you can't see it, this has a proper XLR slot at the top there to put any kind of mic in. So you don't have to use the mic that's supplied. You can just put any microphone. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, they're quite similar. Obviously, the form factor is very similar. Same amount of keys. The keyboard on this one is a little bit different. You have these proper piano-shaped keys with the filled in at the bottom there. So they feel a little bit different to play, but they're both, really easy to navigate. And I love this small keyboard because it means I can play like gigantic chords, which I couldn't ordinarily play on a keyboard or a piano. So that's a nice benefit. And it's super compact on your desktop, so if you're using it not just as a synth but also as a controller as well, which a lot of people do, it doesn't take up too much space, and it's just so compact and portable as well. You can take it literally anywhere, which is cool. So they're the main differences really between them. So I think we should move on, and we can do a bit more from the iElectro. So one of our apps, in fact it was the very first app we did, I think, on the iPad. So a little bit of house. And just kind of carrying on for what I was just saying about the Microkorg XL Plus, we've got a really nice M1 organ in here. So let me just find it for you. The kind of sound which would be more difficult to replicate, although you can get pretty close on the Microkorg. Let me just find it, here we go. M1 organ. So pretty unmistakable sound there, the M1 organ, and you can hear I've got a little bit of delay on there as well, and that's where again the Microkorg XL Plus really comes into its own, because it has a fuller featured effects section than the Microkorg. So, and it's dead easy to use it. So you just swing this down to full edit, and then you can just literally scroll through to what you want to edit right from the very beginning for the name, the oscillators, the filters, the envelopes, LFOs, and eventually you keep going and then you get to effects. So on this particular sound I've got two effects. I've got a phaser effect and I've got a delay, and you can see it says delay there, and then I can scroll through the different parameters of that delay. So things like feedback, the dry wet mix. So I've got 90% dry, 10% wet at the moment, so I can make it much wetter if I want to. Or I could just change effect if I wanted to. So I can just go back to here. It says delay, but I can change that to filter, distortion, decimator, different types of delay. There was a nice one I found actually, mod delay. Tape echo's nice. Chorus. So you can sculpt your sound as you want, and then once you get it right, just press right, and then you can save it into one of these locations, and that's the same on the Microkorg as well. You just literally tweak, press right, choose your location, press right again, and then you can save it. So we try to make it as easy as possible for something that's fairly complex. So let's move on. What else we got here? A bit of hip hop. So you can see I'm bringing out different parts there with the kick drum. So for this one, again, I'm going to use a sound which is very strong on the Microkorg XL, which is an electric piano kind of sound. So we've got a VPM EP. What number is that? B86. So bank B, 86. Quite a neat sound. Let's find a nice bass to go with it on the Microkorg. So I like this one out before actually. Works really well. Yeah, so really nice combination there of electric piano with it again, a little bit of delay on it, and then a really nice kind of octaved bass, which just sounds so good. And that's, for me, that's where the Microkorg really shines, because it does virtual analog so well. Just so smooth. What else we got here? Okay, so we're going to go up the pace a little bit here. So we've got a little bit of dubstep here. What sound did I say for this one? 52. So a little bit quicker. So it's telling me that the BPM there is 159. So this is clocked to that automatically. For any of those who are joining, we're doing a MicroJam here, live with Korg, and I've got Microkorg Xl Plus, MIDI out into a Microkorg S, MIDI through into a plug key going into an iPad, and that means that all of this stuff is synced together. So whenever I set the tempo on here, everything else will follow basically, which is really neat. So if I've got that playing there and I want to change the tempo, I can just do it here. Let's get rid of that little crashy cymbal thing. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, a nice bit of dubstep there. And that sound with the portamento on it works really nicely as well. So let's go on to the next. 1. So we're a bit more laid back now. So this breaks. So I think I found a nice pad to go with this one. Yeah, this is a really nice sound. Here we go. Find this sound to go with it. So I've got some nice lead sounds here actually on the Microkorg. I think it's in this bracket. It's lovely when you can bring in different tones with the mod wheel there. Yeah, I really like that sound. And then a really just nice smooth kind of saw wave lead sound on the Microkorg Xl there. Okay, so we've got some drum and bass now. And there's some, what's cool about the Microkorg Xl Plus as well is the fact you've got some signature sounds in here as well. So for instance, you've got this one here called Smack It. So if you want to do some of those kind of famous songs, there's some great ones. There's quite a few like that in there as well. Okay, let's go move on. So this one's hardcore. So it's just good for any kind of dance track. And of course in the Microkorg XL Plus, you've got some, as I said earlier, some kind of regular sounds as well. So we've actually got a really nice piano in here. Let's have a listen to this actually. Again with some delay on it. So it's kind of like an M1. It's actually called SG piano. So it's based upon our classic SGX1, I think. But it is quite M1-like as well. But it's great, that kind of piano sound, because it just cuts through everything. So it's great for those kind of dance chords and stuff like this. A little bit too much delay for that track, but you get the idea. So it's got that really kind of hard-edged, very strong, attacked piano on here. Let's get a bass sound up for this track. So it's quite a nice one. So let's start this off. Let's take the kick out. Yeah, there's a comment there, and someone saying Electribe sounds a bit thin. I think it might have been because I didn't have the kick drum engaged at that point, so all you were hearing was that. But then we put the kick drum in, and it certainly sounds banging this end. Very cool. So let's just do one more track then for you. We've got an electronica style here. Found this one, it's quite a nice ambient kind of one to finish on really. So I'm going to dial up a different sound. So which one did I say for this one? Evolution. Oh yeah, this is one of my favourite sounds. A55. So bank A. 55. Yeah, so it's a bit down, more down tempo. It's one of those really clever sounds. Let's just get the bass sound ready as well. D27. It's one of those really clever sounds where it's got, even in just one note, it's playing a fifth, so you don't need to play too many notes together to get some really nice juicy chords. So there we go. So thanks for listening, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's been a MicroJam. I'm Luke Edwards from Korg. We've been checking out the Microkorg Xl Plus, the Microkorg S, using the iElect tribe on the iOS, all connected via the plug key and synced via MIDI. If you want to see any more about these products, go and check out Korg USA's YouTube channel, which is really cool. There's loads of videos on there. Obviously their website as well, korg.com. And there's a live stream like this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, if you want to see more of this, come back then. Otherwise, thanks for listening and see you next time. Cheers.